Welcome everybody to another episode of Treasures, where we re-explore Egypt. In every episode, we try to bring you everything that's new, everything that's different. In this episode, we have something totally different that we want to show you. So stay tuned right after the break.
Let us continue the journey where we left off. Last episode we spoke about Ashraf Bars Bey, who was the 9th Borgi Mamluk Sultan of Egypt from 1422 to 1438 AD. He was a Circassian who was bought by a Jewish merchant and taken to Aleppo. There, Ashraf Bars Bey was bought by Emir Jakmak, who gave him to Sultan Berkuk. He was placed in the royal garrison at the citadel. Ashraf Bars Bey was manumitted and became part of the Jamandareya. Later, he was transferred to the service of Sultan al-Nasir Farag. In the reign of Sultan al-Mu'ayyid Sheikh, he was given the title of Prince. Later, he rose to become Vice Sultan of Tripoli in 821 after Hijrah. In the reign of Sultan al-Salih Muhammad ibn Tatar, he was appointed as Grand Dawadar or inkwell holder and became the Vice Sultan of Egypt. Ashraf Bars Bey became Sultan in 825 after Hijrah. Historians described him as being blonde, thin, tall, and good-looking, and very charitable. Sultan Ashraf Bars Bey stopped the practice of the transfer of land between rulers. He also stopped using the florin as currency. He began minting his own currency, known as al-Ashrafiyya, which was purer. He tried to encourage the Florentines to mint their currency in Egypt. He was responsible for a number of administrative reforms in the Mamluk state, including the consolidation of the Sultanate as a military magistrature and securing for Egypt exclusive rights over the Red Sea trade between Yemen and Europe. His Red Sea activity included the final destruction in 1426 of Aidhab, a once important port which had been in decline in the previous century. In 1426 to 1427, he reconquested Cyprus, and in 1430, Egypt was severely struck by famine and plague. We also talked about the Ashraf Bars Bey complex, which was built in 1424, founded by him and located in Al-Mu'izz Street in Old Cairo. In this episode, we'll talk about art, architecture, and design of the Ashraf Bars Bey complex.
We're now in the entrance, and I can see that the architect has done a very different design. Talk to us a little bit about that, please.
Generally speaking, the Mamluk madrasas and Mamluk schools, they serve many functions. And one of the main functions they serve is a place to pray and a place to study. And for the two, you need tranquility. So you can't have the main gate open directly to the school. So you need an entrance where we are. That leads to the corridor where we're going. The corridor here, almost 20 meters long, and it opens directly to the open courtyard. So the corridor is a voice-proof passageway. So the voices of the city and the voices of the markets behind us does not reach the prayers and does not reach the students inside. In the meantime, we have this shaft. This shaft is right open to the minaret above us, and the shaft serves two purposes. The first purpose is the light. The dark hallways get some light from the shaft, and also the voice. When people call to prayer from the top of the minaret, the voice of the caller reaches everyone inside and reaches everyone outside. And that's the purpose of the corridor and the shaft where we are. When we go inside, we reach the open court and see the other elements. Let's go.
Let's go. We're standing in the opening courtyard inside the complex. Talk to us a little bit about that.
The madrasa of Ashraf Brisbai is small in size, and the total land is not huge. And that's why the open courtyard is small relatively to the size of the surrounding large Mamluk mosques. We have 4 Iwans, which 4 main wings. Each wing was dedicated to one of the 4 schools, but we will find that there is a large wing dedicated to Qibla, dedicated to southeast direction, where Mecca. And this is east, and we are standing in the western Iwan, which is slightly smaller. But the northern Iwan and the southern Iwan is much smaller because there is no need and there is no space. At that time, they start to concentrate on only 2 of the 4 doctrines of Islamic fiqh. We know it is 4 schools, but at that time, they started to concentrate on only 2. And that's why most of the teachings take place in the eastern Iwan and the western Iwan where we're standing. And that's the reason why we have 2 large Iwans and 2 very small Iwans. While the open courtyard next to us used to have a place for washing, the ablutions or the wudu, and it's no longer exist. It was completely vanished and it's no longer exist.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, there is all kind of reasons why you miss the fountain that it used to be in the middle. During the Ottoman period, much of the marble floor that used to decorate this temple was taken and replaced. It means during the Ottoman period, the original marble was collected out of here and served other places, and that's why we have this white marble instead of the colored marble that it used to be here. And we think the fountain used to be also here till the Ottoman period, and it was completely vanished. The side doors from the open courtyard lead to the schools of teachings, where we have small rooms for accommodation, small rooms for meditations, small libraries, rooms for books, and rooms for the master teachers, which some sort of private rooms for the teachers of the Islamic studies. And of course, the most important element in one of the side doors is the stairway that leads to the rooftop and the minaret and the dome of the tomb. This is all we will explore when we go up together.
I'm very curious to find out, and I'm sure you guys are curious as well, so let's go take a look.
This mosque was built according to the cruciform madrasa plan. The important features is the Iwan, along with its beautiful marble floor and its fine stucco windows, which attract attention. entrance is ornamented with colored marble. The wooden door is plated with braced tracery. The arrangement of the design of the copper plating is met with the Mosque of Kirkuk and those of Al-Ashraf Bars Bay, as well as in other mosques